Hey everybody, we are back working on this Jeep 258 cylinder head, and this morning while I got a little bit of time I'm just cutting some seats in, cutting the exhaust seats in right now. Right there is the first one we got cut in. Doing the exhaust to fit larger Chevy valves in here. And there's a lot of talk about doing cylinder heads like this. I don't think a lot of guys do it anymore. The horsepower gains are incredible, but most guys are just happy putting a 4-liter head on a 258. I don't go that way. And this makes very good seat of the pants horsepower for a 258. You'll be very happy if you take the time and the effort to do this. We're putting hardened seats in there, and I've still got to do the intakes. I think you can see if I just lay the seat in there. I mean, we've got to bang it in for good. We got a little bit of work to do around. We got to blend and remove some material in the center. No sense in just cutting a seat in and then leaving all that material there. You're not going to get the flow that you need through the head. So it will take a little bit of hand work. That's why this is kind of an expensive thing. If you could do it yourself, obviously it's not terrible. But if you're paying for this kind of work, it does get kind of expensive. We're going to set up on this exhaust right here, and I'll show you the procedure for cutting that in. Okay guys, on the seat and guide machine, we're going to touch off on our part, and then we're going to use the actual seat right in there to set our depth of cut. That way we get this perfect in there every time. We're going to go on slow speed. We've got the back gear basically on the machine here. We're going to set up on slow speed and just get that cutter in there. I'll try and get you zoomed in on that. Okay, I'll try and stay out of the way of the camera. We've got our pilot in there, got our cutter in there, and we're just going to cut that seat pocket right in there. Nice and slow. This isn't a high-speed type of operation here. Just want to get it in there. With the perfect size. It's going to be a press fit on that seat. And we just want to cut a perfect counter bore for it. Okay, we're just on our stop. We'll let it rotate a few times, clean that up, and come right out. Okay guys, we've got a perfect pocket cut in there. And like I say, we've got to dress the inside of this hole, but that'll press in there perfectly. And we're going to finish up the exhaust, and then I'll show you one of the intakes going in. That's a very big cutter. We're putting 2-inch valves in there, or 194s basically, but we're cutting a 2-inch counter bore, so I'll show you that next. Okay guys, just cutting in one of the large intake valve seats, and just going slow again, getting a nice chip and making a perfect counter bore for the seat. Okay guys, here we are so far. I don't know if I showed you the guides going in, but nothing special about that. Guides are in, reamed. Pilot went in there, and we cut intake and exhaust seats. Now, once you cut your seats in, if you just cut your seats, put the seats in, and then don't do any hand work and blend the rest of it in, you won't get the benefits of it. So we're gonna dicom all this here. We're gonna mark it, and we're gonna run a scribe line around each one, and then we have to take that in on an angle all the way around. There's a lot of hand work to get the horsepower out of these, but it's absolutely necessary. So I'll get set up for that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, I've got all the counter bores. I've got some yellow dicom on there. It shows up good on my end. I don't know how good it's going to show up in the camera, but I can see the lines a lot better with the yellow than the blue or the red. And I've got a seat. I ground the outside so it fits in there easily. Now you see the size of the seat and all the material we got left. I'm just going to scribe a line around there. And I got an intake, and I've got a small one for the exhaust. And we're going to go in there, we're going to hog some material out. You could do it any way you like. There's a burr on a electric DeWalt grinder. That works good. Sometimes it's tricky in there because you always got to be on an angle. You don't want just a square cut down there. You're always going to be on an angle. Sometimes I use a little sander like this guy. This is a just an air sander. I have those in a bunch of different sizes. That was a small one. Got this a 3/4 one that gets in there nice. You want to stay away from hitting any of your main casting there, but you could kind of tickle that around in there and get some material out of the way. So this is what we start with, and I'm going to do a little grinding on that, and then I'll show you how we kind of finish it out a little bit better. But you got to get some material out of there pretty quick, and like I say, any method that you find easiest will work. I doubt there's going to be a lot of guys doing this kind of work. It is tedious and time consuming. Probably not a lot of guys out there going to do this, but maybe there'll be one or two that want to know how to do it, and this video will help you along. You could do this on a Jeep head. You could do it on Ford, Chevy, Dodge. You can do it on any head if you want more performance. We're doing a Jeep head because we're building this 258, and the Chevy Valves are known to add quite a bit of horsepower, and it's a good method, but you have to massage the head a little bit and get a lot of material out of the way to get the flow right. Again, I know there's going to be 4-liter guys that say, oh, just put a 4-liter head on your 258. You're going to get more horsepower and better benefit by putting these larger valves in. So I'm going to go and start to get some of that material out of here. Okay guys, there's my first rough cuts. I used all 3 tools. I used the grinder with the burr in this area because I could fit it in there. I used a large sander around here, and then where it gets tight down here close to this area, I had to use a small sander. That just hogs the material out of the way for you. Now we're going to set up a pilot in there. I'm going to go in there with a stone, and I'll show you how we refine that to the next stage. Okay, I've got a 343 pilot in there, because we got our 11/32 guides in there that are reamed. We'll put our spring on, and I have right here, this is just a coarse roughing stone, 45 degree, and we've got the spring on there, and it'll bounce up and down. We'll take our motor here, and you can see that, and we're zoomed in pretty good, but we'll just do some grinding with the stone. Okay, that's just a roughing stone. We're going to refine this quite a bit more. But that gets our, I think you can see it, that gets our angle uniform around there. And let me see if I can show you another one here. It's a little further along. Okay, you can see we got our angle coming down. And this roughing stone this is a 45 degree. I'm going to go in there with a smaller stone and on a steeper angle. I'll custom grind a stone maybe 60 or 75 degrees, and we'll break that down a little further. And we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep refining these until we get the shape of this area that we want. We want to take full advantage of the bigger valves. Oops. But we've got to have a nice transition. Try and get this off here. Hang in there with me, guys. I want to have a nice transition between our valve I think you can see that. I want to have a good transition from here where our valve is sealing. We want to have a smooth flow. So we've got to get this at a steeper angle. You're basically doing almost a valve job on the cast iron before you do the valve job on your seat. You got to get this material out of here so you got a smooth flow for the gases. Like I say, there's a lot of handwork to this, but the results are worth it. So we'll refine them a little bit more, and obviously we got to do all of them, but I'm just trying to give you the basics of how to get to where you want to be. So we'll take a listen a little bit more, get some more material out of there. Okay guys, here's the grinding rig that comes with your valve seat tool. Got a little diamond wheel here. You spin that with the motor and you dress that. I don't have enough hands and stuff to do everything here, but I'm going to cut a 75 degree cut on here. We'll just, like I say, we'll just go up and down with that as this is spinning. I got our gauge set to 75. I've got a finishing stone here because we want to start refining our cuts. So I'm going to throw a 75 on there and see how I like it. This is a 1 5/8 stone. I might go to 1 3/4 or yeah, I don't know. We'll see how the 1 5/8 works with 75 on it and see what kind of finish we get in there, and then we'll take it from there. Oops. Okay guys, we're gonna go in there with this. I made a 75 degree on here. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna finish up the bottom of that hole that we're working on, and then we'll work up towards the seat. So we're just gonna go in there and tickle that a little bit. I have a finishing stone on there. I don't have the roughing stone on anymore. I got a finishing stone that I made a 75 degree angle on. Let's just go in there. Okay, we don't need much. That was our very bottom. You can see it is our very bottom cut in there, way down low. Now we're going to come up. I'm going to make a 60-degree cutter. We're going to come up and we'll finish this. Again, we're going to do everything with finishing stones from here on in, and then that's about all you need. You don't need super polish in here. You want the roughness of the chamber to work with you. So we'll come in here and we'll go from 75 and we'll take it 60 degree the rest of the way up here. And like I say, it's a matter of bouncing back and forth between stones and checking your seat. And like I say, it's a lot of hand work. But I want to show you what it looks like finished, so you kind of get an idea of what we're doing. So hang in there. We'll do a little more grinding. Okay, guys, just cut a 60 degree on this cutter, and we're going to do a little bit more finishing here. Okay, we've got a nice 60 degree taper into our 75 degree. And let's get this out of here. I'll show you what the seat's going to look like in there. Okay, I think you can see the smooth transition we have right here compared to if we were to put this, let's go over to this one. You see you'd have a harsh step there if you didn't blend all that in. You'd get no performance out of that. So that's what we start out like. And I think you can see that. That's what we finish like. We started out 75 on the bottom, blended 65, and we have just enough space here now for our seat. And then we will do a 3-angle valve job on our seat, and everything will flow perfectly. You got to plan on spending a good amount of time on each valve. You might have an hour into each one. So it is a process, but the results are worth it. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the exhaust. And I'm not going to bore you by showing you every single one of these, but I think I gave you a good idea how to get the right bevels in there and how to make this breathe much, much better. So we're just going to continue on. Like I say, I've got a lot of them to do. All the intakes, all the exhausts, so it's going to be a while, but I'm just going to continue on with those. Okay guys, I'm going to try and hold you steady in here and show you one finished intake. We don't have the seat in there, this is just a loose seat. And one finished exhaust. You can see the very nice taper we have here. And we're about as big as we can possibly get in there. We opened that up as much as we could have, and we have a perfect taper all the way around. So that is one finished intake and one finished exhaust. Okay guys, let's drop in an intake just to see how she looks. Okay, there is a monster 194 swirl finished valve with the undercut stem. That's the best valve you can put in the head. And that's what the intakes are going to look like. They really fill up the whole area there. And next time we are going to check our installed spring height. If anybody's interested, I can take you step by step through that, how to figure out and get your installed spring height right. We'll get our double valve springs and see if we're going to have to machine the head a little further, or if we're going to have to add a shim. But I'll go over that next time. And that's all I have for you this time. So if I don't put another video out there before the new year, wishing all my viewers a happy and healthy new year. And I will see you in 2022 with more videos. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.